Here is my very first video on how to unpackage and cook an MRE for instructional purposes only. This is menu 20, spaghetti with meat sauce. Okay. So anyways, you're going to see a little kind of thing right there on the top of it. Hey, if you want, you can do it any kind of way. You can use scissors if you want to use scissors, but let's say you don't have scissors at the time. Kind of put your thumbs like that, kind of go like that, and kind of open it like that. Easy peasy. Or you could go, and that doesn't work very well. Anyways, so you open it up, kind of looks like that, and you can save this for a variety of reasons. One of which it can hold a lot of water if you need to hold a lot of water. But you can also use it for cooking. Ooh, this is nice. This is the Chipotle snack bread. It's like a spicier bread, a lot better than the wheat. This is your little package worth of whatever. So you got matches, kind of cool. A little wipe my hands before or after I eat, kind of cool thing. Coffee, creamer, sugar, toilet paper, and the gum. It's rumored that the gum has a laxative, so that way I'm staring at the wrong part, aren't I? The gum has a laxative to help you, relieve some of the MRE that doesn't like to be relieved. Okay. This is your plain packet. Your plain packet, when you open it up, you're going to see 4 little, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like a magnesium type of shaved metal that when you put water in it to a certain level, okay, that it activates and it actually warms up your food. You can tear it right there. I'm not going to do it right this second because I'm not prepared to do that. So just wanted to show you this is the heater right there. Kind of cool. And you have Skittles. Skittles. So I forgot to show you how old this thing is. How old is it? Gee, there's no stamp with a date. No stamp with a date. Crazy. Well, actually, if you look right here, you're going to see a 0. Probably can't see that very well. 0, 1, 7, 2. Now we could look at that at a couple of ways. One way could be 2010 and the 172 day of 2010. So what month would that be? Whatever. So 2010, 172nd day. So that's how you can age these things. Now, if they're in the individual packet, you can't really tell if they're good or not. Okay, because they might have been in someone's trunk for the last 3 summers. And then they're not good. But on the case, you're going to see kind of like a little sticker. A sticker with a circle with an inner circle. And if the whole thing is really dark, no longer good. If the outer circle is lighter than the inner circle, I think that's probably in a basement, cool, dry place. Always a nice thing. Okay. This is my cheese spread. Also comes with bacon and whatnot, or jalapeno. This is just your basic cheese. And you don't need the jalapeno when you have that chipotle. See? Cheese and chipotle. And then baked snack crackers. This right here is pretty much just your, I forget what type of cracker they are, but this is the kind you would buy in the store, no doubt about that. Your little spoon to eat it with. See how it's a long spoon, which is good because the meal is in a pouch that is long as well. Okay. And here you have a little beverage base. Pretty cool for, let's get some electrolytes back in us. That's not a bad thing at all. Sugar-free. This right here will fill up a 20-ounce jar of water easily, and I think it doesn't taste bad at all. So for myself, if I'm going to be hiking, I might eat a little bit of this first while chumping on a few of these from time to time, while eating my bread from time to time with the cheese, stuff like that. And then when I'm ready to sit down and have a little bit of a meal, then obviously you can do whatever you want to do. Then I would heat up my spaghetti with meat sauce with my cherry blueberry cobbler. And I might throw in a little bit of this Tabasco sauce, kind of cool to go with it. All right. But if I'm just sitting down and I want to eat the whole thing at once, I can eat the whole thing at once, but it is a lot of food, believe it or not. Okay, so again, if I wanted to, I'd say I have some water. Where is my water? My water is way over here. I'm very prepared today, as you can see. I just said, you know what? Before I eat this MRE, why don't I make a little bit of a video, help people out, because some people have no idea. So I'm going to have basic water at first. Okay, and if later on, if I really want to, I can add the coffee in there with the sugar, with the cream, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Or what I can do is, where is my bag? Here's my bag. I can fill this bag up with, matter of how diluted I want my coffee. I can have it 6 ounce, 8 ounce, or whatever, 12 ounce. Not that good diluted, so what I could do is I could fill this up with the water to the 6 ounce. I can put the coffee in there, the creamer in there, the sugar in there, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, kind of put it in here, okay? If it's a cold environment, obviously I don't want to, cool down my core temperature that much, okay? But, and if it was a colder environment, then I wouldn't do that because I don't want to cool down my core temperature. What I would do is I would heat this up after I finish heating up my food. I would use the residual heat to heat up the water to put in with my coffee. Okay. So let's say I just wanted to sit down and eat my food. Eat my food. Okay. Spaghetti with meat sauce. I could find the top there, something like that. I think what motivated me to make this video is I'm at a construction site watching a bunch of people. And they were like, oh, MRE, how do you eat it? How do you eat it? And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should show people. Okay, that's the packet right there. Also has the date right here. There's going to be dates on like everything, okay? Because, stuff gets separated. Some people, what they like to do, and I can fully understand it, is they like to take everything out of the boxes, okay? Let's say you got a long hike and you really don't care if stuff is cooked or not. You just need the sustenance. You might just want to grab this and grab this. Okay, obviously you leave that in the packet. Okay, leave that in the packet. Leave that in the packet. And we might bring like the toilet paper and stuff. Going like that. That I don't know if you remember how big the container was with everything, like that. But you could put like really, if you were to scrunch this down, which I've done, you could put like 3 meals into one packet when you squish it up like this. So something to think about. That's if you are on the run and you need to put a lot of food in very small places. So anyways, what you can do is use, see this box right here? You can kind of stretch out the box a little bit. Stretch out the box like that. Okay, see that? Nice and, man, we are 8 minutes long on this. I didn't know it took that long to prepare something like that. Okay, now we have our heater. See the heater? Heater. Now we're going to open up the heater. So we kind of go like this. See how it just comes right off. Okay. We have something like that. I'm going to lift. That up like this. I'm going to hold it there with these 2 fingers, and I'm going to open it up with that one right there. Again, you can do it however you want to. You might have a better way. Okay. And then I'm going to put the meal in here. Okay, kind of get my bag ready. Maybe put it between my legs, maybe not, whatever's clever. Open up my water with the other hand. Okay. And if you wanted to, you could pour the water in between the plastic and the meal, or the meal and the heater. The problem with that is you've got to respond very quickly, or this will burn your fingers. So, totally up to you how you want to do it. I'm going to pour it between the plastic and the meal because I don't want to burn my fingers, because it activates very quickly. Once I do that, I do not want to overfill. I kind of want to get it in between these lines right here. So, like this, kind of go like that. I'm going to take a look. Yep, it's there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop. I wanted to drop the heater first. Didn't work out, did it? Okay. I'm going to go like that. I'm going to fold it over like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get the water to mix with the heating packet. Yeah. Okay. And I got it to leak. Good for me. See how it's smoking right away? That's what I was talking about. Okay, and this is why we got our box prepared. Let me turn over. Okay, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to fold over, and I'm going to knead it. It likes to be kneaded. Just like me and my wife. I like to be kneaded. Okay. Now, what you can also do, like if it's a cold environment, you can put the heat out. You can go like this, whatever. The book suggests that, you kind of place it like that. Put the heater on the bottom so the heat goes up. Not a bad idea. What I like to do to heat up my cobbler is I'm going to put it between the heater and the box. Now, the problem with that is it needs oxygen, so you're going to be cutting off the oxygen. So you're going to have to knead it even more. It's very kneady. Ha! Okay. So I'm going to go like this and have some fun. Maybe fold it over. I still want to leave some air. And I'm going to go like this on top of my bread, so that way the residual heat will heat up the bread as well. Okay? And if I wanted to, I could get my coffee ready right now by pouring the coffee in there, the sugar in there, the creamer in there, after the 6 ounces of water. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to open it up. Plus, I already have iced coffee right here, so why bother? Okay. And there's so many things I can do right now. I can use the box if I wanted to, which I will. I'm going to use this box. It's kind of hard to prop it. So I'm trying to prop it like that. You don't want to prop it flat. Why? Because the water will leak out, make a huge mess. I'm going to take this cobbler box. This is like if you're in the dirt, okay? Something like that. You're having a little picnic. You don't have the comfort of a desk, which has happened many times. Okay. I'm going to open up the box. Why? Because I'm going to make a plate. And with the plate open like this, like so, I kind of get this ready. I'm going to knead this a little bit. You know what? Actually, I might put it with the bread, so the residual heat will get that warm as well. How long is this? 12 minutes. That's incredible. I knew it took a little while. I didn't know it took this long. My first video. Okay, see how I'm kneading it? Kneady, 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 kneady. Okay. And again, I don't know if you have the bread and the cheese under that, so the residual heat will warm up all of them. Working smarter, not harder. And I should have saved the video. Okay. And that's pretty much how you heat it up. Okay, I wish I could stop it and edit it, but I'm working on my iPhone, don't know how. But I'd like to show you one way to eat it where it stays warm, and guess what? You don't burn your fingers at the same time. We're going to go like this, go like this. Ta-da-da. And you can feel it warming up right now. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Okay. But I'm at work right now. I'm going to give it some oxygen. And you know what I do from time to time, and some people might not agree, so is I'm going to find the little heater there, and I'm going to give it a little bit more water. Okay? People are walking by the office going, what is he doing? I'm making a YouTube video! Yeah. Okay. Going like that. Let it sit for a little bit longer. It's not really warming up the cheese. I mean, it's better than nothing. Don't get me wrong. But I usually let it sit there for a little bit. I'm going to get my Tabasco sauce ready. Some people like to save these, but after you've collected 100 of them, my father, you can use a little knife to open it up. You don't need it, but you know what? We are not in the woods buck naked right now, so I'm going to use it. Okay, This was made, it's got 0053. This was made in 2010, the 53rd day of 2010. So that would have been February, what, 23rd or something? Okay. Shake it up a little bit. If you want to, while you're waiting for your meal, you can kind of pour it in your eye, you know, just for shits and giggles. All right, and see, it was smoking there a little bit. Remember, you got to knead it, knead it, knead it. It's almost like a flame that you have to keep fueling it with oxygen. Okay? And this right here, like let's say it was a cold environment, again, you can go just like that, and it's like, oh, it feels good. Okay? I mean, that really does. That feels really good. You just have to make sure that you're not squeezing it too tightly, and the liquid, which is really hot, burns your chest. Okay? Hey, how are you?
Hey, man.
Man, hanging out. I'm making a video on how to eat an MRE.
Yeah.
A video no one will probably watch, and my wife will delete. She'll watch 1 minute of this and be like, "Put this down." Or you can put it on this side too. Kind of going like that. Ooh, that's really nice, by the way. So if you're in a cold environment, keeping these in your car, not a bad idea. The problem is, of course, if it's sub-freezing temperatures and it's in your car overnight or over a couple of days, guess what? This will be frozen solid. And,
I think they were going to do that.
Okay, it might be ready. Feeling kind of warm. Need to learn how to edit. Okay. Like that, very warm. Feels fantastic, actually. Many times. You know, and you can put this in between your chest and that, as well as this. Warm bread is much better than cold bread. So you can kind of put the bread between your chest and the meal. Okay. Still chilling in the office, but anyway, so you can kind of go like that, and you can just let it sit. That way you don't get the direct heat and get burnt, but it will definitely warm it up. And if it's close to your heart, which is a good thing, warms up the blood, and guess what? That warm blood gets circulated. Good thing. Okay? And if you're really warm here, it means your feet are really warm as well. And if you really want to get smart and toasty, you will put on a hat, keep your head warm, and if your chest is warm, your feet will be beautifully warm. You know, and if we're talking about possibility of frostbite, this is maybe a lifesaver, maybe not. Really matters on your situation. I haven't been on an expedition in a long time, but there were times when I would have given a lot for an MRE, you know, and where it's freezing out, everything is wet, and you literally have to like sleep next to people so you don't freeze to death. Sometimes. Anyways, you know, nothing I'd like to repeat. So we're going like this. We're going like this. Okay, we're still going like this. You have to learn a fast forward type of thing. Okay. Still kneading. Now you don't need a knife or scissors for the next thing that I'm thinking about, but it definitely helps. This is a little Swiss Army knife thing. You know, literally just keep it attached to my keychain. Like I keep it attached right here. And I've used this thing more times than I could possibly. It's got to be the most valuable tool I've ever used. So if you want, you can carry a big buck knife. You can do whatever you want to do. This little thing, oh my gosh, extremely valuable. And I can take it everywhere. You know, government buildings, which I'm in all the time. You know, as long as it's under 2 inches long, guess what? They don't care. So you can have it with you all the time. You know? All right. So anyways, what I'm going to do, are you ready? Are you ready for this? I'm going to take it all out. Okay? Take it all out, lean it up against something like this. I'm going to get the bag. I'm going to cut it maybe 5 inches up, something like that, whatever. So like this, you can just rip it if you want to, probably better. Okay. Try to get an even line if you can. Make it wide again if you can. Alright. Kind of go like this. And do you see that I put it back in the box like this? Now find your heater. You want to cut above the heater. Okay. So find your little heater, cut above the heater, and rip it like that. Ta-da! Put your cobbler or your second meal, appetizer, dessert, whatever, in between the meal. And this is it. So here, the heater is right there. It's still in the plastic thing, still generating heat. Why get rid of the heat? Now, you got to remember, don't tip it because it has water in it. Hot water that's got that crap dirt all over it. So you don't want to like mix that all around. Okay, wipe the edges off here so that way none of that crap gets inside of your meal. Okay. Put this between your legs without squeezing too much or you'll get that crap all over it'll burn your legs. And again, if you're in a cold environment, that will really, really suck. Okay. So, go like this. Find your bread. Remember your bread? The bread that's nice and warm now. Okay. Which is awesome. Kind of see the serrated edges there. Rip. Commit to the rip. And, you know, you've got the little heater thing, not heater, but the little oxygen absorber. Make sure that's off of your bread. Okay. Kind of put it on the plate. Remember we talked about the plate. Find your cheese. Where'd the cheese go? Like I can tickle myself while doing a video. Okay. Got the cheese. See, it's a lot more pliable now because it was heated up. Okay. Now, of course, you can kind of go like this. See, I just kind of cut a little thing off there. Why did I do that? So that way I could put it on this. Now, let's say you're with a couple of different people. That might just happen. What you can do, which is always nice, sharing is good, okay? You can cut your bread into several different pieces. And once it's in several different pieces, you can apply the cheese to it. That way, everyone gets kind of like an equal share. Because here's the reality. You might be prepared, and I know you're thinking, well, if I'm prepared, I'm not going to share it with anyone. Well, no, you're going to get family members there, and they're going to be freaking out. Whatever. We had a tornado in our area, and how many people did I have at my house? You know, kids and shit. And you're going to tell them, oh, nope, you can't eat my stuff. No, that doesn't really happen. Anyways, so expect, like if you have a case for you, a couple cases for everyone else. Okay? Anyways, because, you know, and what? You can never have too much, I think. Now I'm going to put the cheese on each and every little one. So it's actually going to look kind of cool, kind of like an hors d'oeuvre. An hors d'oeuvre. Okay? So we're kind of going like that. Don't know if you can see that very well. You know, kind of be conservative at first because you don't want to run out before you hit the last one. People will be screaming. Empty tummies make mean people. Okay, and this is kind of cute. And if you've got kids with you, they'll love the whole thing. I've done it with kids, and they just love the whole process of it. I think it makes them want to join the Boy Scouts or something. Okay, kind of go like this. I'm running out. See, you can prepare. You can now no one's gonna want to eat the one without cheese. So kind of go like this. Get as much of that out as you can. Oh no, we're good. No, you're good. This is perfect. So what's that? This thing is loaded with salt and fat. Why? Because it's meant for soldiers. See, every single one. It looks like crap like that, doesn't it? Okay. Like that. A little bit. No, too much. Not necessarily me. Okay, so we have that prepared, which is cool. Now, what about the meal? Get rid of the blade there, like that. Pull out the scissors, put it between my legs without squeezing too hard. You don't need the scissors. The MREs have little notches on them, okay? You're going to see a little notch right there like that. That's meant for ripping, but a lot of times, many times, it does not rip that well. So what I like to do, get my spoon ready here like that. And remember that I'm not going to make coffee. I am going to make water. And now that I no longer need water for cooking, I'm going to use the scissors again because I don't want to use my teeth. You can use your teeth if you want to, but I don't want to. I'm going to use the thing for my water here. Now you should let it sit for a little bit. Okay. Let it sit for a little bit. You really don't want to drink while you're eating. You want to eat as much as possible. See, it really works. It doesn't look like a lot of product, but it is. That is a flavorful drink right there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, you see I still have the heater still generating some heat, which is kind of cool because it's a hot meal. Okay. They have very, very cold weather type of MREs, products that won't freeze. Kind of cool. They have really, really warm weather MREs, which obviously doesn't have a heater, stuff like that. Okay. But just remember, these things are loaded with salt and such. So if you're preparing to eat a lot of these, you're going to have the water to back it up. Okay, very important. So what I like to do is I like to stir it a lot at first before I even touch it. That's the cobbler. You can see that. It looks like dew. Dew. Okay, I'm going to take my spoon out, kind of go like that a little bit. People put down MREs. Back on me. People put down MREs, whatever. I've lived without food, and you find a can of like corned beef hash, and you're like, yes, whatever. Government cheese, you praised it, So, anyways, I think these are great. And this is the spaghetti. Can't see it that well. That's the spaghetti. Now, what I like to do is I like to add some flavor to it. So, you can put some jalapeno hot sauce in there, kind of cool. It'll actually come out. Oh, and it just came out. And if you want to be fun with people, you could put this on the crackers and make the crackers kind of spicy. Let's see that? See a little, put it on the crackers as well. You could save the rest. Actually, there's not a whole lot in there. So it's not like, I'm going to save the bottle for next time. I mean, you can, but there's not that much in there. So, this is my meal, the spaghetti, and I eat it just like this. That's exactly how I eat it. See, everything is keeping each other warm. Beautiful. You've got your little appetizers here that you can feed people with a little bit of jalapeno on there. Good. Okay. And for later on, for the hike later on, for the snack later on, to give to the kids later on, kids love the little side products. I have that, and I have the Skittles. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat my meal. Here, whatever. Eat them all at the same time if you want to. It's your game. You play it however you want to. I'm going to drink this probably an hour or hour and a half later, something like that, maybe 2 hours.